actual. Winter is en route to aid with Casevac. What the hell is going on?
All right, so I'm here with Chris Neely, who is a senior environment artist on Aliens Colonial Marines. So tell me, what is the key to replicating the look of Aliens?
Well, we had to start from the ground up. You know, we wanted to emulate the look and feel of the Aliens movie, and we couldn't do that with just stock lighting in UE3. We actually made our lighting system from the ground up in-house and incorporated that into UE3.
How bound to the sets are you, like the set design, when you're designing an environment?
Well, there's a lot of locations that take place in iconic locations from the movie. And being a fanboy myself, I pored over all the reference that Fox gave us, you know, and just from my own knowledge growing up and adoring these movies. So the attention to detail it's pretty specific, you know, more so than your average player will even notice, I'm sure, in a lot of places. But I mean, for a lot of people on this project, it was a labor of love, and people wanted to nail down that experience that they've always wanted to have. So.
I mean, obviously you've got to make it look like Aliens, but are there any areas where you can express your sort of creativity as well?
Well, I think overall as a whole, because we wanted to retain the look of the James Cameron film, but at the same time, it's a modern day shooter, you know, and so it has to compete with the visual bar of all the other games out there too. And so we've struck this kind of, it has its own life to it. So we've taken liberties, but we've done that very responsibly to be faithful to the film.
I mean, you've got to maintain that sense of tension as you go through the game, and that's such a multifaceted thing. What have you been able to do as an environment artist to maintain that feeling of tension as you explore the Sulaco?
Well, we use lighting a lot. Lighting leads the characters through, and it also foreshadows when bad things are about to happen, you know. And before you see an alien, you may see some shadows go across the wall from our dynamic lighting system, you know, and all these cues, or even some fake scares using the same tools. So we can really create that experience and build up, you know, before the Xeno comes out and gets you.
So what kind of materials and access has Fox given you for this game?
We have access to their entire library. Like for the Hadley's Hope sets, we poured over blueprints, we camera stills, even our audio for the weapons is taken straight from the Fox archives. And
you worked with Sid Mead as well. What was that like?
We riffed off a lot of his ideas, and to explore the rest of the Sulaco was an exercise in a Sid Mead design, you know, functionality and form, you know. A lot of space sci-fi games are just endless hallways that really don't make sense and just generic kind of greebles, and we really wanted to give purpose to the rooms in the Sulaco and to feel like you were actually walking through a ship, you know, and not just a laid out level, but actually being on the ship and seeing other locations that weren't in the movie, but that feed off that same design instinct that Sid Mead had.
In terms of the color palette and stuff, it feels like this is a film of sort of blues and kind of gunmetal, kind of grey and things. Is that fair, or is the variety in there as well?
Personally, I've become a student of lighting for that film, and we've kind of taken the same color combinations and pushed them to an extreme. And everybody has in their mind this picture of a blue movie. Everybody associates it with the color blue, but actually if you look at a lot of the stills of the films, it uses pink and uses a lot of complementary colors to that blue to kind of white balance the entire scene. So we've embraced the full color spectrum and using our custom-based lighting system have really pushed it to its full potential.
Obviously, Aliens films tend to be about a lot of narrow corridors. If you've got 4 players running around, how do you kind of mitigate that cramped feeling?
It's very delicate, and you have to build and you have to play test, you know, and it's a lot of iteration, and a lot of just dovetailing gameplay with being faithful to the environments too, you know. And there's a lot of contrast in our environments too. Like you have the tight claustrophobic corridors of Hadley's Hope and the Sulaco, but you also have the open expanses of LV-246 and the Derelict Crash.
And we live in an era of sort of fan service. I mean, we've got the Avengers, which is like the ultimate fan service film. Have you guys been inserting sort of Easter eggs for real sort of die-hard fans of the trilogy?
Yes, there's lots of little gems to find in there. But you're gonna have to look that up for yourself.